ligner fuldkommen Concorden, altså den facon, den har i formationen deroppe. It's beautiful, Graham.
Thank you. This is my favourite formation. So even if we can't see the real Concorde fly anymore, well, in the Red Arrows we still love to do it. So as the white smoke comes on, this is the Concorde Bend. Now, I'll tell you a little bit about flying close formation. All military pilots can fly close formation, and to do it, you need to look at the lead aircraft all the time. So all the pilots are looking at Red 1 up at the front. As you can imagine, if they're looking at him, they only see their wingmen around them for very short periods of time, maybe just in the corner of their eye. So that requires a lot of trust between the pilots. It takes us 8 months of the winter season to train up, to believe in everybody, to trust each other, so that we can fly these formations like you see them today. So that's how they do it. It sounds easy.
Are you always training in Cyprus?
Yes, and the UK. This is an Apollo formation. It's called Apollo because it looks like the Eagle landing spacecraft of the Apollo 11 lunar landing missions in 1969 when Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. And it's the 40th anniversary this year of those moon landings, so that's why we have Apollo in the formation. If you look at the man on the far right-hand side of the formation, this is Red 4. He's the lowest man as we look at them now. He's single, girls, remember, so be careful. He's also known as Horse, but I can't tell you why, because there are too many children here.
Det er sjovt, jeg tror, at den alder der 30-34, der er de mest pigegale, så det er nok derfor, at der bliver omtalt, at Red 4, han er single. Så sådan er det.
Now as they turn in towards us, they're in Fred formation, and Horse is a former Tornado F3 pilot, so he's a fighter pilot. And girls, I'm sure he'd be happy to tell you he was a fighter pilot in the bar as he chatted you up. Right now, though, he's rolling back to form Typhoon formation as Jace pulls them up in 4G as they climb in Typhoon. So now the aircraft are 1 kilometre high above us. The speed is just 250 kilometers an hour. And you can see the shape of Typhoon, which is named after the Typhoon fighter aircraft, which used to be called Eurofighter. Now they're at 400 miles an hour, 650 kilometers an hour, in a 4G left-hand turn.
What is the best speed to have during the exercises?
We fly most of the display at 650 kilometers an hour, or 400 miles an hour. 350 knots for the pilots.
350 knop og cirka 600 km i timen er den bedste hastighed for displayet.
The team is now changing into chevron formation. It looks like the symbol you see on Citroen cars.
Altså chevron-formationen, det ser ud som det symbol eller logo, der er på alle Citroën-bilerne.
Okay, as they run in now, Jace is telling them to roll out. He calls pulling up. Smoke on, go. And roll.
Det er rigtig svært, og hele formationen skal dreje rundt i et rum, så der skal laves forskellige manøvrer for alle flyene, hvis de skal se helt ens ud.
On the Red Arrows this year, we have 2 pilots from New Zealand. Is there anybody here from New Zealand? The first one is on the very front left of the formation, and his name is Simon Ray, but we call him Kermit, after Kermit the Frog from the Muppets, because that's what he sounds like on the radio. He used to be in the Royal New Zealand Air Force, where he flew Skyhawks in Australia and New Zealand. But that was no problem for him because he speaks Australian and New Zealandish perfectly. He doesn't speak English very well, though. It's a problem for us.
Oh, you're a little bit of a joker, I think.
He also loves rugby, like all Kiwi. And he loves watching Formula One, but we never get to see Formula One because we're always displaying on Sundays. Bad luck, Kermit. At the moment, this is swan formation, which is a very long and wide formation, and it's difficult for the pilots to fly, as they pull up now at 4G in a loop. Over the top, they changed to what we call Fred formation. Now, Fred sounds like a stupid name for a formation, and yes it is, but it's short for feathered arrow, and now you can see the arrow shape as they come down the hill. So if you like, this is 9 red arrows in one big red arrow. So, ladies and gentlemen, you've seen the first half of the show now. What we've done are all the big 9 aircraft formations, and now we're going to make things more dynamic, more exciting. We're going to split the formation into 2. The front 5 aircraft, reds 1 to 5, are known as Enid, and that's after a famous British author called Enid Blyton, who wrote books called The Famous 5. And the back 4 are known as Jippo. That's reds 6, 7, 8 and 9. And they're led by the synchro pair, reds 6 and 7. Very famous, you'll see them in a minute. And in the second half of the show, Enid and Jippo